He was at a point in his life, he just had so much going for him, so much to live for.
A father honoring his son and raising money for a scholarship in his name. Spencer County senior Nathan Wimsatt died after a car crash in April. The teen would have graduated this month. Thank you for joining us on The Night Team. I'm Bobby McSwine. Nathan's family held a benefit concert at his high school to raise money. That's where Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie spent their day. And they heard from loved ones who say through grief, they found an opportunity to change lives.
The hundreds gathered outside Spencer County High School. Not a single one wants to be there.
Every day's a struggle.
Well, I take day by day.
Because while there's food, games, and live entertainment, all that fun comes at a cost.
It was very shocking.
That cost a life, a young life, taken way too soon.
He was an oddball. Anytime you walked into the room, you would know that he was there.
Quite the extrovert, life of the party. He had tons of friends, and he was just living his best life.
Nathan Wimsatt was just 18 years old when he died in a car crash. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the school.
And just the halls were silent. Nobody was really talking. If you needed help, you went to the library. Everybody loved Nathan. Everybody did.
Nathan's mom, Catherine, said the Spencer County High School senior and Kentucky Provost scholar planned on attending UK in the fall.
He was going to be a pharmacist. He had his whole life planned out. And yeah, it's such a tragic event.
I realize part of me died with Nathan, and I'm never going to be completely happy ever again. I mean, parents not supposed to lose their child.
In the wake of tragedy, Nathan's parents saw opportunity.
We thought, what's the best thing we could do to honor his name? And that's when we came up with the scholarship fund.
A fund with his namesake dedicated to helping deserving high school students take that next step in life, something Nathan will never have the chance to do. The first recipient, an obvious choice.
And there was no better recipient than Connor Shebley for us. He was Nathan's best friend. Connor is the person that deserved that award.
The two were supposed to be roommates at UK together.
To Connor, I think it meant everything to him. I think when he got that, he was like, he's there with him too, like helping him get through it.
And Nathan's family says it's just the first of many to come in the future.
I think he really would have liked it. My son, he will never get a chance to go to college. That's why helping other kids go to college is very meaningful.
A life cut too short, but a name that lives on in those who loved him. In Spencer County, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
And if you would like to donate to Nathan Wimsatt Scholarship Fund, we have that link to do so on our website, WHAS11.com. New tonight on The Night Team, yet another horse death at Churchill Downs. According to track officials, this is now the 12th horse death since the stables opened. Churchill Downs confirms filly Kimberly Dream was injured during today's first race. She had to be euthanized due to a ligament injury, and a track spokesperson confirmed Lost in Limbo died Friday. During the 7th race, Lost in Limbo significantly injured his left front leg near the finish line. The injury was said to be due to unrecoverable, and the horse was, quote, humanely euthanized. In a statement, Churchill Downs Incorporated said, "We do not accept this as suitable or tolerable and share the frustrations of the public." They go on to say, "We simply will not allow these equine fatalities to be in vain. We are engaged in an epidemiological study with the Jockey Club to review each individual horse to determine if there are any undetected patterns that have not been previously identified," end quote. Track surface engineers recently tested the track and say they haven't found anything wrong so far. Here's what they told WHAS 11 this week.
We have all these tests that we perform every day, and we did not see any indications. We are looking at the track information to help the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission go back and look at all the pieces of the puzzle.
Now, besides the track surface at Churchill Downs, other pieces of the puzzle include tests and necropsies on the horses to try to discover any underlying issues which may have led to their injuries. All right, we're going to check in with our Christina San Juan right now. We know she's keeping a close eye on this Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's not going to be as warm or as dry as what we saw out there today, but we are certainly in need of that rainfall. It's been about a week now that I last tracked some rain that was actually measurable around Louisville International Airport. So this has put us a little bit behind of where we typically are for this point in the month of May. We just received over about 4 inches total so far for the entire month, which just puts us a little bit below where we typically are. Tomorrow, I don't think this is really going to make a dent in our forecast or in our rain forecast here that we've seen over the course of May, but it's at least something for some of us. Not everybody's going to see it, unfortunately, but you folks from E-Town over to Bardstown, stretching down to the south, that's where you have the best opportunity to pick up some measurable moisture. It's likely not going to arrive until about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and will stick around through much of the afternoon. However, it is going to be on the light side, so don't expect it to be a washout. For most of us, though, we're just going to be dealing with cloud cover and much cooler weather than what we've seen around here for the last several days. Many of us likely to not even make it out of the upper 60s. Plenty of dry time as we approach the second half of the day. This is 5 o'clock, where you can see we're still just going to be dealing with that stubborn cloud cover around here before yet another round is going to be picking up for, again, folks mainly to the south of the city. Now, this warm-up lasting just for one day, so we are going to see those numbers really start to rise over the next couple of days, especially as we bring in the new month of June. So I'm going to tell you just how high those temperatures go in just about 15 minutes. Bobby?
All right, thank you, Christina. Well, according to AAA, most people are planning to travel by car this holiday weekend, forecasting more than 37 million drivers on the road. And good news for your gas tank, gas prices are lower compared to last year, when the national average topped $4 a gallon. And if you're planning to drive, keep these dates and times in mind. Today and tomorrow, they're forecasting minimal traffic impact. When it comes to heading home, AAA recommends either leaving before 2 p.m. Tuesday or after 6 p.m. The window between 4 and 6 p.m. is expected to be the busiest. And to honor those who served our country this Memorial Day, Governor Beshear is ordering flags at half-staff on state buildings. He encourages buildings and organizations to join in on the tribute on Monday. Well, more local news here tonight. A man is dead after a shooting in the Chickasaw neighborhood. Just after 1 this morning, LMPD responded to a shot spotter alert on Grand Avenue. There, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds who died at the scene. LMPD noted the shooting happened in a residential neighborhood, so it's likely someone heard or saw something. Anyone with information is asked to call the anonymous tip line. That's 574-LMPD. You can also use the online portal. And new tonight, a man was shot and hurt in the Park Duval neighborhood. LMPD responded to Catawba Street and found a man with a gunshot wound. He told police he had been in a fight with another man who took out a gun and shot him. The man received non-life-threatening injuries. Conflict resolution and skills on the court are just a couple of the things this group hopes to teach kids. Shoot Balls, Not Guns had a day at Shawnee Park, caters to grandparents helping to raise children. Their goal is to, of course, end gun violence, but also give caregivers resources to fund free activities for kids.
There are still a lot of good people in the world. You know, we can't let the ones who are doing the bad stuff, the negative things, outweigh all the good, or scare people away from even coming out of their homes.
They had basketball, bingo, and a cookout, so kids had a safe way to spend their holiday weekend. U.S. Representative Morgan McGarvey was there just to support and hang out with the community. Right now, there are hundreds of unclaimed cars in the LMPD tow lot. To cut down on that, LMPD is doing its third amnesty period. In this period, people can claim their cars without paying a fee. They hope this will break down a barrier that might be keeping the lot full. Starting tomorrow and going until Saturday, June 3rd, that's next weekend, you can claim a vehicle for free. To pick up the car, you must have your ID, proof of insurance, and you must be the registered owner of the vehicle. The lot is opened from 8 to 8 every day. Developing news out of Washington tonight, sources tell ABC News House Republicans have reached an agreement in principle with the White House about the debt limit. Allison Kosick has more on the key points.
After weeks of negotiations and just days before a potential default, Republicans say they have reached an agreement in principle with the White House. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy breaking the news on Twitter, before speaking to the press.
We still have a lot of work to do, but I believe this is an agreement in principle that's worthy of the American people. It has historic reductions in spending, consequential reforms that will lift people out of poverty into the workforce, rein in government overreach.
McCarthy saying the deal involves no new taxes and no new government programs. The breakthrough comes just days before June 5th, the date Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned the U.S. could run out of cash to pay all of its bills on time. The showdown over the debt ceiling has been looming over the U.S. economy. Economists had warned a default would have put millions of jobs at risk. Military salaries and Social Security payments would also have been delayed.
Without Social Security and SNAP, not only would we be homeless, my goodness, we wouldn't have money to buy food with.
The deal will now have to pass the Republican-controlled House and a Democrat-controlled Senate.
I expect to finish the writing of the bill, checking with the White House and speaking to the president again tomorrow afternoon, and then posting the text of it tomorrow, and then be voting on it on Wednesday.
McCarthy has pledged to give House members 72 hours to review the legislation before a vote. If and when the bill gets to the Senate, it would take just one lawmaker to possibly delay approval for up to a week. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Now, if the U.S. defaults on June 5th, it will be the first time in our history